This is a 2012 BMW G650GS F650. We're going to fit some Rox bar risers. So we'll just start by loosening these off. It's quite surprising how they're not very tight. Like, I certainly didn't pre-loosen these. Well, they are sort of a gripped thing. I didn't think they would be. I was initially hesitant, thinking the 2-inch ones probably wouldn't be enough lift. The reason I got these Rox ones is so that you can angle them back as well. They're not just like a straight up riser. They can be tilted back again for people like me that have got long legs but short arms. In the interest of catching any bloopers, just taking this last one off. It's a little bit stuck. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. I suppose that's how you're going to do it. One problem I've struck is I can't do up these hex heads with it in place. It kind of covers the bolt hole, so I've had to do up one side as tight as possible, move it, and then tighten up this side. The problem is I can't do that for, like, see how the bars are now more forward than they are back. It'll probably be okay for now, but ideally I need a shorter Allen key to make that accessible. Time to mount bars. Might have to loosen some cable ties. All these cables are a bit tight. I might just have to take this cable tie off. And same with the other one. Just hidden under here. It should be fine once it's up there, but just at the moment it's too tight. Do you mind holding that, assistant?
Sure.
Or you can put them on. Just so that you can see this. So we've got an assistant putting these on now. How's that scented? I didn't see relative to these things. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And these, when I took them off, were about straight like that. Thank you, assistant. Let's see how that looks. So all the controls are still straight, which I was after. And I was using these mirrors as a measure of what was straight up. So this one looks a little bit different, but maybe I should have used a better measure. What we're going to check now is to make sure none of these cables bind up anymore. So we're just going to have a bit of a feel either way. And it feels a little bit tight. Just got to see what's happening. I think there is a bit of slack available, but not much. God, I don't want to have to take off all that fairing stuff again. So from the left hand side of the handlebar, coming down here, you can see there's this wiring loom just here. There's a sort of cable tie there. There's also one down here. I think if this one was gone, it'd allow us to run the cables up here, which would give us heaps more length. So let's have a look. Okay. They're sort of fat and don't want to go in there. I'm sure we can make it happen. That's given us a bit already. Cool, so that's heaps more. Already it only took that one cable tie. Let's see what can be done on the other side. Hopefully I don't need to take the airbox off on this side. But I may have to. Yeah, you just can't see. Especially because I've got it on the tripod. Okay, so down here on this side, there's this cable tie, which may be the only one that'll give us any length. I'm just going to experiment tying this clutch cable in between the two brake lines. When it's over here, see, it's fine, it could have sort of stays in that position, but when you flick back over, it has a tendency to pinch. See how this wire, sorry, whatever this one is. Sorry, this is the throttle cable, my apologies. So I'm inclined to sort of just group those together so it doesn't bind on these connectors. Okay, so I've just zip tied that there. It's only real loose. All I want to do is sort of guide it. I don't want to hold the cables. So it goes that way, okay? Sort of catching up, but it's okay. The real test is when we go back. Cool, it didn't bind on the throttle. That's what we want. So this one I released from the cable ties before. It has a tendency to want to go back down naturally, but to keep all the length nice and free, I'm just going to tie it up to this top brake line so that it doesn't stay down and get caught. Yes, I should probably be using black cable ties for aesthetics. We'll see. Pretty good. So these cables are just bound down here by this cable tie. Again, with that released, it'll just give that bit more length for the risers to do their job. Okay, so you can see I've put the white one in place so that when I drop this one, we don't lose this. All we lose is this. this one should be nice and free now. And it is. I'm just releasing this cable tie so that we can pull these up a touch. Okay, so see how now that's now above and all the slack's up the top now, which is good. Now it's just not redneck if you don't test things without putting them back together, like fairings or anything like that. Oh, that's heaps better. Heaps better.